Hello and welcome to Accelerate. I am Matt Stone. This is the podcast where we encourage and inspire CEOs, founders, and visionaries on their big leap journeys. We talk about the stories and strategies that will help you accelerate toward your big leap destination with purpose, humility, an open mind, commitment to growth, and recognition that the way we get there is at least as important as where we end up. And I'm so delighted that you've tuned in today. And it's Tuesday, September the 13th. And thank you for listening as always. Hope your week is going very well. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. And I yesterday had a good reminder never to call a government office on a Monday. I called the state office locally about a business matter, and sometimes you just gotta really put it down, even if you're facing a deadline, and do it another day, because the phone line was like, sorry, we can't take your call. Like literally a public line to get help with business matters, and they're like, we're too busy. So then I go to the chat function, they give me a direct line somewhere, and I call this poor woman who's just absolutely overloaded. She can't really answer my questions, and her solution was that I send a letter by regular mail to a supervisor there to get them to respond by mail. So we won't be doing that, and I just gave up. And I think that was probably the right move. So we're going to be at it again in a few minutes after this podcast to see if we can't get a better resolution today. Wish me luck, and I wish you luck in all of your tedious endeavors. Life is so full of them that we must really appreciate the joyful moments as well. Another thing that came up, though, and this is what I want to share with you this morning, was I was watching a clip from a TED Talk, and it was about, I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it was about the strongest predictor of how long you will live. And, you think, okay, I mean, some obvious things are on this list, around lifestyle choices and then sort of your physical condition. So there were, let's see, about 10 factors that came up. But crazily enough, clean air was at the bottom. So apparently that's the least effective predictor of how long you're going to live. Hypertension fix was above that. Then lean versus overweight, exercise. I mean, these are still pretty low predictors, relatively speaking. Cardiac rehab, flu vaccine. Apparently flu vaccine isn't going to be a great predictor whether you're going to live a long time or not. Although I just got my flu vaccine, so I don't know. Maybe that wasn't a good thing. No, it's a good thing. It's definitely a good thing. Then it gets a little bit higher, and no surprise, if you quit drinking alcohol, quit boozing, it goes higher. This is a study out of BYU, so you never know. Quit smoking, that's even higher. That's really, really high. But there's two other factors that are higher than that, believe it or not. So all that other stuff, clean air, which I suppose would be connected with smoking in a way, boozing, your exercise and weight, all of those things, the two higher predictors are close relationships. So close relationships meaning the kinds of relationships where if you're in trouble, you have people to call who will help you. People to take you places if you're sick. People to people that you rely on for help in almost intimate moments that you wouldn't want to tell other people about. That they're there for you. Those really close relationships. And the number one strongest predictor of how long you'll live, apparently, according to this study, was what they called social integration, which I understand to mean how socially integrated are you? How much a part of your community are you? Are you talking with the postal worker who delivers your mail? The store clerk, You've got places to go where you're your community. You're a member of something. And honestly, I thought stress level was going to be like number one. Maybe it's because I'm so stressed right now. Maybe that's it. But it does make sense to me. I mean, it's consistent with certainly my belief system that there are few things that produce better outcomes in business and life than relationships. And one of the things that's really kind of bugged me for a long time is that when I first got into the relationship business, we couldn't use the word relationship. Even 10 years ago, I was like, well, if you say relationship, then it can't be, it's only personal. Personal is relationships. We don't call business relationships relationships. Yet they are relationships. If you're in sales or your business development and you've worked with someone on a deal and they ghost you, how does that feel? I mean, does that feel not personal to you? Maybe to some people it's less personal, but it's deeply personal when you invest in a relationship for whatever cause. And the flip side is true. When it goes well, it's such a blessing. It's a win that goes far beyond the financial win, whatever that is. So, I like to think of relationships as every opportunity, every day, everyone you meet is a relationship, however brief, whatever interchange you have. That was the nature of your relationship. As people taught me, you can't not communicate. So as long as we are communicating with each other, as long as we're interacting, we are communicating, even if we're not saying anything. And that's a relationship. Question is, are you nurturing those relationships, even in a moment, at a register, at the hospital, at the dentist? We always have an opportunity to be interconnected with people in a way. It doesn't mean you go deep into some topic, but it makes sense to me that if there's any validity to this study, that social integration would be such a predictor of long life. Anecdotally, I've got family members who are so socially integrated, who live well into their 90s. And so I've seen that up close. So great opportunity to think about every interaction today as a relationship and how we can invest in those relationships, not just for the moment, but for the long term as well. So hope that's inspiring to you. Thank you for listening. I do really appreciate it. And we will be back tomorrow with more inspiration, hopefully, to help you move about your day and inject a little bit of joy in whatever you're doing. So until next time, bye-bye for now.